Our top story first. Wayne Rooney was regarded as England's new hope when he first burst onto the international scene back in 2003. A decade on, questions are being raised, or rather controversial remarks are being made. Is Rooney an asset or a liability to the English squad? Whatever it may be, it looks like Rooney doesn't care.
It's been the most damning comment from any expert on England's big hope for the upcoming World Cup in Brazil. Wayne Rooney is used to criticism all throughout his career. But the latest controversial remark from his former England and Manchester United teammate Paul Scholes could be the one that puts his place in the England squad in jeopardy. Scholes feels Rooney does not need to be dropped, but if he doesn't hit top form for the World Cup, then can anyone from the coaching camp tell their star striker to sit out? And it's not just Scholes who's taken a dig at Rooney and coach Hodgson. Even former England star Gary Lineker questioned if Rooney deserves a place in the starting 11. Lineker felt Roy Hodgson should opt to play Daniel Sturridge as their main striker. And if Rooney is pushed out to the wings, England have better options than Rooney. Rooney has often ignored the criticism, but this time he chose not to remain silent. Rooney responded by saying people might have their opinion, but he is only interested to the people around him in the coaching setup. The comments from Scholes and Lineker will definitely raise questions in the England camp. It might have a negative impact as well. Rooney can dodge this crucifying criticism. But it would be far better if he could respond by letting his goals do the talking. Sports Bureau headlines today.
Giant step in the right direction.
All eyes on this man, Wayne Rooney in England. Our experts are joining us on the show. Our consulting editor, Boria Majumdar, joins us from Kolkata. And our brand new expert, Eric Benny, former Team India player and manager, someone who's represented India on the world stage in the Asian and Olympics games on the show. Eric, thanks a lot for joining us and welcome to our FIFA coverage, The Build-Up.
Thank you, it's a pleasure.
All right, Boria, let me start with you first up. This was waiting to happen, isn't it? The criticism of Wayne Rooney. I mean, he's one personality who hogs the limelight in England, and the criticism is not new, only this time it's extremely harsh.
You know, England is one country that loves to self-destruct. Obviously, it's one of the most passionate. Now, you can interpret it in both ways. You can say, what on earth is Gary Lineker and Paul Scholes trying to do on the eve of a World Cup, which is 6 days away, when England is not even going into the Cup as a favourite. They're trying to impose additional pressure, put additional pressure. On the other hand, you can say, what on earth is Wayne Rooney trying to do by trying to answer these TV pundits? Gary Lineker is trying to do his job. That's his job on television. Wayne Rooney better shut up. I mean, his job is to go out there and perform. If he performs for England, scores multiple goals, gets his team to even the semi-final, leave alone win the cup, right, Gary Lineker will have to eat his words like nobody's business. That's what Rooney should do rather than keep talking.
Right. Eric, before I ask you just what it does to a player's mindset, the criticism I said is not new. You know, Fabio Capello, the former coach, after his stint with England had said that, you know, Rooney doesn't give his 100% for England the way that he does for his club, Manchester United. It's a criticism of Wayne Rooney. In this case also, where they talk about having better options as a striker or even in the wings than Rooney. Is that fair?
There'll always be better options, is the way you look at the sport. I think Rooney's just not been lucky. The day he starts scoring, every manager, every supporter out there is going to go ahead and love him. I think what Wayne Rooney should do today is that he should just ignore whatever's happened. He should just put on his kicking boots and get in there and prove the world wrong and prove himself that he deserves a place in the squad. That's what's important.
As we say, let your sports do the talking, let your talent on the field do the talking.
Yeah.
But what does it do to a player's mindset? As Boria was mentioning, should I mean, you like this, you want to have a lot of debates before a big tournament. India is actually very unlike England in that manner. There's a lot of criticism and media speculation on their big stars. But what would this do to Rooney before the World Cup?
All right, I would just see positive out of this. I would say if somebody would question a player of mine, and especially Wayne Rooney, who's done very well for his club and for his country, but not at the World Cup stage, but I would seriously take it as a positive, and I would say, all right, I'll go out there and perform. No matter what you say, it doesn't matter what you talk, you got to play the game on the pitch, right? So let your football do the talking. All
right, so as a football expert, where do you think Rooney should play, if that's the debate?
Well, I always believe that the coach decides for the player where he should play, and it's important for Rooney to behave and just do what the coach asks him to do. That's what is critical, and because it takes a lot, because the coach has a certain formation, a style of play, and if Rooney can fit in, perfect. If he doesn't, then he doesn't.
But Paul Scholes there saying, I can't quite repeat that on air, but he says the team management doesn't have the, you can fill in the blanks, to drop Rooney if he doesn't fit the squad.